Penguin.
How is Stanton Optical different from all the other eye care services?
Reliable professional advice. Same-day glasses, unbeatable prices, and eye exams whenever you need them. I could go on.
Stan?
Yes?
How's it feel to be the new face of Stanton Optical?
We're a team. There's no I in eye care. Wait, you know what I mean.
Get 2 pairs of glasses, including an eye exam, anti-glare lenses, and same-day service for only $79.
I'm John Burke. My job is to teach people how to peel peels, which, as it turns out, is actually pretty simple.
John Burke knows that. Everybody knows that. Peeling mandarins is obvious. You peel them, you eat them.
Any questions?
I used to eat cake better. My mom always let us lick the beaters. Oh, the beaters. But she'd always turn them off first.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Sonic brownie batter and yellow cake batter shakes.
I mean, let's be honest, I still lick the spoon.
The latest conditions, live. The Ksee 24 Valley Cam Network. Ksee 24 News begins with your forecast first from your local weather authority.
I'm Rick Jarvis with your forecast. First, some heavy rain this morning. It's beginning to taper off. It's going to be more shower type as we move forward into the afternoon. But we have a potential for thunderstorms in the valley and foothills. And of course, it was wet this morning. It'll be damp into the afternoon with some showers and thunderstorms possible in Merced. The best chances will be Fresno County southward. Everyone will be in the 60s today, and we're in the 50s right now. Much cooler compared to what we had over the weekend. Hanford could see a few thunderstorms this afternoon with a high of 64, 62 the forecast at Madero. We've got snow at Shaver Lake, rain and thunder in Oakers, and rain and snow in Yosemite. More details as Ksee 24 Midday starts right now.
Local news that matters. This is
Ahead on midday, police are investigating a shooting in central Fresno that left 1 man dead. And a statewide theft ring that included smash and grab robberies here in Fresno. Hello and welcome to Ksee 24 Midday. I'm Brody Logan. Caroline Collins is off today. Thank you for joining us. Well, the mother accused of murdering her 8-year-old daughter pled not guilty in court today. 30-year-old Samantha Johnson pled not guilty to felony child abuse and murder in the case of her 8-year-old daughter, Sophia Mason. She was denied bail and will return on April 11th.
As she sits here today, she's not guilty. No evidence has been presented of her guilt. A complaint is not evidence. A complaint is a charging document.
Sophia Mason was found dead in the home of Johnson's boyfriend, Dante Jackson, on March 11th. Jackson is still on the run. Officials announced a $3,000 reward for any information that lead to his arrest. First Lady Dr. Joe Biden is in Kern County this midday. She landed this morning at Meadows Field Airport in Bakersfield. Dr. Biden welcomed 31 U.S. citizenship candidates during a naturalization ceremony in observance of Cesar Chavez Day in Keene. The new U.S. citizens are being recognized as outstanding Americans by choice for their significant contributions to their community, professional achievements, and responsible citizenship.
Today, you are not just Americans. You are Americans by choice. And like so many generations of immigrants who have come before you, you will shape your corner of our country to be stronger, more unique, and more beautiful than before.
This is Dr. Biden's second trip to Kern County. Well, Save Mart has a new owner. Save Mart Companies announced this morning it had been acquired by Los Angeles-based private equity firm Kingswood Capital. The terms of the deal were not released. Save Mart operates stores under the Save Mart, Lucky, and Foodmax names. The deal also includes Smart Refrigerated Transport, a distribution center in San Joaquin County, and Sunnyside Farms Dairy Processing in Turlock. Police are investigating a deadly shooting that happened early this morning in central Fresno. Police say ShotSpotter detected 4 rounds fired at the Fig Garden apartment complex near Ashland and Fruit around 4:30 this morning. Officers arrived at the complex, located a male adult who has not been identified at this time with multiple gunshot wounds. He was declared dead at the scene. At this time, homicide detectives have been notified and have responded. Officers are searching for any witnesses in surveillance video. So if you have any information, you're encouraged to reach out to Fresno PD. A man is dead after a deadly mobile home fire in Merced County on Sunday. 3 Cal Fire crews responded to arrived, smoke filled the mobile home. And officials say smoke was even pouring out of the eaves of the home. There's only one person inside, a man in his 50s, who was pronounced dead at the scene. Officials don't suspect any kind of foul play, and the cause is still under investigation. Fresno Fire stayed busy over the weekend following a large plastic fire near Cedar Avenue. There's more.
This large column of black smoke could be seen for miles throughout Fresno County on Sunday afternoon.
Originally, the call came into the fire department as a vegetation fire.
What was burning, Fresno Fire Battalion Chief Thomas Cope said, was a stack of plastic crates.
Because of the nature of plastic, it's a hydrocarbon like gasoline, so it puts up a very dense, very ugly, carcinogenic smoke.
A video provided by the department showed how the fire spread across the crates, causing the dense smoke.
The shipping crates were used as a wall. So one shipping crate on top of another on top of another. And once that wall started on fire, the wind pushed the fire along. So I would say probably 60 feet, 70 feet of that wall eventually burned.
Crews were able to set up an aerial ladder and attack the fire from above.
Fresno County's Ladder 87 was really in a position to get above the fire and upwind. And once we found a fire hydrant to supply that water supply, they were able to apply a lot of water, what's called a master stream. So it's approximately 1,000 gallons per minute.
Said the fire did not destroy the construction along the high-speed rail. The estimated damage is not known at this time.
Fire did impinge on the outside, so we opened it up in order to make sure that there was no fire inside. I'm not really sure if fire actually extended, but it was certainly threatened by fire.
The cause of the fire is still under investigation. However, several homeless camps were set up near the location. Juanita Adame, KC24, local news that matters.
Authorities are looking into a stabbing on Belmont and Maple Avenues. They say it happened over a dating relationship. Officers say when they got to the area, 2 people were found with stab wounds. We're told 1 person was arrested. Police say there was another stabbing reported on Belmont and White Avenues about a block down. Now, we're still working to try to figure out if the 2 incidents are connected. Police have not released any suspect details. 5 suspects behind bars in what investigators are calling a statewide organized theft ring. They're charged with stealing from major retailers, including 2 stores right here in Fresno. The arrest made down in LA. 4 of the suspects are accused of stealing thousands of dollars worth of clothing from a Fresno JCPenney and a Macy's. Investigators say the suspects held the stolen items for a while, then shipped them internationally. The local meathead movers are gathering resources to help those overseas in Ukraine. It's all part of their partnership with Operation USA. So the organization is seeking the following items: tweezers, Advil, tourniquets, roll gauze, butterfly bandages, irrigation syringes. You can see more. The list is on your screen. The hashtag fill those trucks with these items. All items must be unopened with an expiration date of 12 months past today. They will be accepting donations through the end of the month. You can drop them off at the lobby of Meathead Movers. They're open every day, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. The address is right there on your screen. Healthcare workers across the valley were honored for their service. Victory Baptist Church of Fresno held a luncheon and service, and each healthcare worker received a special gift. Organizers say events like these encourage people to push forward through the hard times in an industry that requires a lot of compassion.
It's a great forum to show our appreciation, especially status post, COVID, and still going through that time of COVID, and just all the hard work that it takes for all of our healthcare workers from day to day and serving our community.
Organizers say it's all about giving back. They wanted to make Sunday Health Worker Appreciation Day. Well, as businesses continue to readjust after the pandemic, the Downtown Fresno Partnership wants to help. The organization is getting ready to roll out grants for small business owners that need it the most. Natalie Vera has a story.
The Downtown Fresno Partnership is launching a new initiative called Stay Here. The program aims to help downtown businesses grow.
Because currently we have a program for new businesses. So we wanted to share the love in a way to keep our current very strong rooted businesses in downtown.
Jasmine Young says they have $21,000 set aside for small business grants. They're still working on the guidelines for who will qualify and how much they can receive, but she says it'll probably be around $2,000.
To give them that next level, whatever it may be, whether they're looking to expand into a new space, and maybe this can go towards their lease, or maybe they're looking to do some renovations to their own space.
Young says many places downtown are still recovering from the pandemic.
Some of these spaces, especially our restaurants, are set for larger amounts of people, and right now they're just not filling the space, which is tough because you're paying for electricity, air conditioning, all that stuff for a large space, but you're not having the amount of people.
The Downtown Fresno Partnership is also working to help businesses access other help.
We're also going to utilize some of the resources some of our partners can provide us. So like Fresno Metro Black Chamber of Commerce, they have a whole program that some of our businesses can go through to learn a little bit more detailed about like finances, technical services.
Those Stay Here grant applications will be rolled out in mid-April. Reporting in Fresno, Natalie Vera, Ksee 24 Local News That Matters.
Coming up on Ksee Midday, it's raining here in the valley, finally, but officials still want us all to conserve water. We're going to tell you why.
And more is on the way with the potential for a few thunderstorms. First, your 40-hour forecast brought to you by Boz Allergy. Maple, ash, and elm are the top pollens. We are in the medium to high range through Thursday. I'll show you how much more rain we could expect as Ksee Midday continues.
I see on Ksee stories of everyday people making a big difference. I've seen remarkable women contributing to their families, mothers and daughters from generation to generation, inspiring change in the valley. The dynamic and generous women I've met are the heart and soul of the Central Valley. I see what matters. I see local stories making an impact. And I invite you to see it all here every day on Ksee 24 News.
We'll meet Ukrainians who are defending their country one block at a time. When you were still in Kiev, could you hear the bombing?
Hi, I'm Bobby Jones. I opened up Barbecue Bob to give back to the community I love. We have all your barbecue favorites covered in our secret sauce, smoked in our Big Daddy pit, and paired with perfect sides and desserts. You'll be back for more.
I looked at our electric bills, and they keep going up and up and up.
There are times where we have rolling blackouts.
And so I knew that there was going to have to be something I could do.
One of my friends highly recommended Semper Solaris.
Semper Solaris is your local veteran-owned solar and battery storage contractor.
Things for the customers. To keep
That's what we do every single day. The savings are better than what I expected.
My last bill was actually a credit.
From my experience, I would say I would go with Semper. Don't go looking all around.
I said, I want the A-team. I want the best of the best. This was the A-team.
From the beginning to the end, they have been the best.
With a lifetime warranty and new roofs with a 50-year warranty. Go solar American style with Semper Solaris. 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments until 2023. Get the federal 26% solar and battery tax credit. $500 downloadable coupon. $500 off for military first responders and healthcare workers. Call now or visit sempersolaris.com.
We're a different kind of dentistry. One who believes in doing anything it takes to make dentistry work for your life. So we offer a complete exam and x-rays free to new patients without insurance every day. Plus, patients get 20% off their treatment plan. We're on your corner and in your corner every step of the way. Because your anything is our everything. Aspen Dental, anything to make you smile. Book 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL. At your center. News is always available at yourcentralvalley.com. Ksee 24 News is brought to you in part by Barbecue Bob. Now, forecaster Ruben Contreras. Forecast.
Welcome back. It's starting to sprinkle again, at least at our studios out by the airport. Most of the heavy rain is behind us, but we're still expecting some shower activity into the afternoon and early evening with the potential for thunderstorms. Obviously, if you get one of those thunderstorms, you could have some very heavy downpours, maybe even some hail. And obviously, you got thunder and lightning. And we do got some breezy conditions out there, but those winds could be a little gusty if those cells do develop this afternoon. Live radar shows a little bit of rain developing towards Los Banos, out towards the northwest portion of Merced County along Interstate 5 this midday. And we're getting a bit of a break on the west side of the valley for the most part. There are the sprinkles out towards our studios here in East Central Fresno, down the street from the airport. That's the light green you see right there. Then some decent rain just to the south of Porterville. And then that is moving up into the foothills. Snow levels dipped off to 5,000 feet, a little bit lower than what we had this morning, about 6,000 feet or so. So Shaver Lake has seen good dusting of snow so far this morning. Same deal as you make your way into the fish camp area towards the Yosemite National Park southern entrance. Later on for today, the low is going to move in. It's still off of the coast of Central and Southern California. This was just the front of it, and there's the spin right there, that counterclockwise spin. Sun moves in. Thunderstorms later on into the early evening. Remember, we had the time change a few weeks ago, so sunset is later, so there's more daylight. So the atmosphere has more light, more heating to work with as that happens, and Futurecast does show that. This is at noon, seeing some showers redevelop on the east side of the valley, maybe even Fresno County. But the red dots you see, those are the areas of concern. Those are the cells that could easily become a thunderstorm. This is about 4 o'clock or so. Really suggesting Fresno County southward. North Valley, you have a chance, but the best chance will be the South Valley, southern Fresno County, as that low swings into Southern California. The snow will continue to fall in this year, right around 5,000 feet into this evening. For the most part, things wrap up in the valley before midnight or so. We're still going to have some lingering clouds overnight into tomorrow morning. In the Sierra, though, there still could be maybe just a little bit of drizzle, maybe a few sprinkles tomorrow morning, and then that's it. Rainfall totals pretty impressive. We're thinking about 1/4 to 1/3 of an inch. For the most part, we're a little above that across the Central Valley. 4/10 of an inch of rain in Fresno so far since midnight. Same deal for the Merced area, close to 1/2 an inch in Visalia and right at 1/2 an inch in the Hanford area. So if a thunderstorm developed over any of these observation stations out at the airport, we could easily add another 1/2 to maybe an inch of rain, but more likely we're just going to pick up a few 100s here and there, and Futurecast does show that. But the foothill portions of Central California could easily pick up another 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain as we move forward into the afternoon. Weather advisory all the way through midnight tonight from Yosemite southward to the Kern County line. This also stretches north to the Reno Lake Tahoe area. To Southern California right now, it's just raining on the Grapevine, but there is a winter storm warning in effect until tomorrow morning because snow is possible later on for today into tonight and early tomorrow morning. This is a live picture from Caltrans Interstate 5 at Fraser Park. That is southbound traffic going right there, but if you look closely right here at the top of the screen, that is the hill right there. It did snow at least on the hill this morning, but not down to the pass level just yet. So if you're going to head out there, be careful and give yourself some extra time. Here's what it looks like at the Marina parking lot in Shaver Lake. Notice the fresh snow on the trees, but the parking lot is just wet. It was a mix of rain and snow for most of the night, then it transitioned to snow this morning. 7-day forecast shows we're going to keep things cool the next few days. Low to mid 60s, and then we're going to be in the upper 60s tomorrow. That's fairly seasonable for late March, and then we're back in the 70s as early as Wednesday, and then maybe even sneak into the 80s Friday, more likely onto Saturday. It's going to be a mild weekend, just not as warm as this past weekend. YourCentralValley.com has the latest live radar. You can check it out any time of the day. For now, we will send it back to you.
Well, as the rain continues throughout the day here in the Central Valley, some public utility more just little water. Water utility is going to homes to request that their help in trying to make their yards as water efficient as possible. Officials there know that each year water storage gets more and more unpredictable.
Climate change definitely is making our water supply a little less predictable. We're pretty much at the end of the water year. Dry year despite those winter rains.
But that's almost not the point. The point really is actually about saving something that we can't get any more of. There is no magical press a button and we get more fresh water in the state. We just have what we have.
There are special water hose nozzles you can attach to your hose to save the water you put out. Sprinkler systems are also checked to ensure they're being used at their max efficiency. Coming up on Ksee Midday, could be lining up for your next booster dose pretty soon. I'm going to give you the details after.
You're suddenly rich and beautiful, and they're telling you how much they love you.
She has a phone, but she says it doesn't work, can only text.
She can charter a private jet, but she can't make a phone call.
Next, Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil, today at 4 on Ksee.
You definitely owe it to your or knee replacement. You definitely owe it to yourself to call Innovative Medical Center first. A lot of people can be helped with regenerative medicine to avoid the unnecessary surgeries.
Call Innovative Medical Center, the way healthcare should be.
Who are the happiest drivers in the Central Valley? They just love that legendary reliability. The American Customer Satisfaction Index agrees. They say Honda has the happiest drivers and is the most fun to drive, period. And with thousands of new Hondas on the way, happy customers are taking delivery daily. So come in and buy or reserve yours today. Shout hallelujah. Come on, get happy, Central Valley. See your dealer today.
More Furniture for Less has amazing styles at incredible values, all in stock and on sale.
Choose the bed of your dreams for $7.95.
Get this contemporary bed with detailed headboard in gray for only $7.95.
Get this linen bed with built-in adjustable base for only $7.95.
Or choose this glamorous mirror panel $95.
These values are in stock and on sale right now, only at More Furniture.
Preview these and all sales specials online at morefurniture.com.
Attention. This message is for the survivors of abuse by the Catholic Church. Many states have extended the window to file a claim for victims of childhood sexual abuse. It doesn't matter how long ago it happened.
If you or someone you love were a victim of sexual church official, now is the time to hold these abusers accountable. We are here to help. Call Right to Fight now for a free and confidential consultation regarding your case.
800-926-3043.
You could be eligible for financial compensation after years of suffering in silence. Remember, you are not alone. More survivors are stepping forward every day to help stop the abuse.
If you or a family member were a victim of abuse by an authority figure in the Catholic Church, stand up for your justice and make the confidential free call to Right to Fight now.
800-926-3043. That's 800-926-3043.
The time to file in your state may be limited due to strict deadlines. Your claim may not be accepted if you wait.
Attention pain sufferers. If you're living with chronic pain, discover regenerative medicine at Innovative Medical Center.
Regenerative medicine is effective. It's safe. There are no side effects or downtime on these procedures.
It's never too late to find relief at Innovative Medical Center.
Fresno City employees will no longer be required to have weekly COVID-19 testing before going into work. This comes just a few weeks after the city decided to follow the state mask recommendation, or not, in all indoor areas. The assistant city manager, Gregory Barfield, says testing for all city staff, police officers, and firefighters that were unvaccinated goes back 6 months, and they will no longer need that or the mask going into work. So virus and
the daily health screening, everyone will still have to do that. And in addition to that, we will still follow all of our OSHA protocols. So, you know, the tracking and the isolation of individuals and the reporting that we have to do to the state and the local agencies once a week.
Barfield says there's within the city right now. 2.5 months ago, he said there were at least 150 cases. Barfield did emphasize this is a suspension of the testing and it could come back. The FDA is expected to authorize a second COVID-19 booster shot as early as next week. Both Moderna and Pfizer have asked the Food and Drug Administration for its approval for a 4th dose of the COVID vaccine. The move comes with early signs the U.S. could soon experience another COVID wave as the Omicron subvariant known as BA.2 spreads throughout Europe and other parts of the world. As of a few days ago, FDA officials had settled on giving Americans aged 65 and older the option of getting a second booster. Now, FDA officials are reconsidering allowing an additional booster shot to even more Americans. Other countries, Israel and Sweden, already allow for a 4th populations. Study of patients with long COVID finds different variants may lead to different symptoms. Researchers in Italy found once the Alpha variant became the dominant strain, patients were more likely to suffer persistent muscle aches, insomnia, and brain fog. Loss of smell was associated with the original COVID strain. Well, that became less common, as well as difficulty swallowing. Midday. Nothing worse than food poisoning. Here's some tips for avoiding it next.
Paul Mitchell, the School Fresno, is proud to be helping future professionals follow their dreams and reach great goals. We can help you pursue your career in cosmetology or barbering, and financial aid is available to those who qualify. Come make it happen now at Paul Mitchell, the School Fresno.
The lead singer.
Packing tape is like roadside assistance. Quality matters. So join AAA, America's most recommended roadside service, from $5 a month.
Car wreck? How much money do you need to bring your injury case to us? Not a penny.
When we take your case, we charge nothing unless you get paid.
And we spend our money on everything we need to win your case.
Call the Car Wreck Pros from the start.
We use our experience and our money to get you more because we're in this together.
Injured? Call.
The heavy hitters are the way to go. Call 1-800-LAW-3080.
Every moment matters. So let's put the phone down and talk, read, and sing with them. Now's the time to show them your love. Let them hear your voice. Learn new words. It builds their self-confidence and makes them strong. And when you do this, you help them succeed in school and in life. Talk, read, sing. It changes everything.
Registration is now open for parents seeking to enroll their child in Fresno Unified's free kindergarten programs. Children who turn 5 between September 2nd through February 2nd can begin transitional kindergarten for the 2022-2023 school year. Children who are 5 on or before September 1st register now, because children who start school early build an important foundation for success. To learn more about registration, visit FresnoUnified.org.
A garden hose is like road. So join AAA, America's most recommended roadside service, for $5 a month.
American Song Contest is off to an explosive start. And tonight,
who y'all rooting for?
Alive.
That is a hit.
Tonight on the
Bang with a whimper.
Come with us, Your Honor.
Is Fedorov's hand ready?
We're being lured.
In position.
What are you trying to pull? I want closure.
Half of all women experience false positive mammogram results after a decade of annual screenings. Researchers at UC Davis say women who undergo mammograms every other year face a lowering chance of seeing a false positive result. Older women are also less likely to get a false positive. During the peak of the pandemic, a lot of people didn't seek treatment for strokes in hospitals. According to Canadian researchers, the first year of the pandemic resulted in a substantial increase of stroke deaths at home. Public health professionals are urging people to get emergency care at hospitals, even during a pandemic. Children are more likely to battle severe illness as a result of food poisoning. The American Academy of Pediatrics is now offering some environment is important to ensure all food is thoroughly cooked. You also need to carefully examine canned and jarred foods for possible bacteria contamination, and don't leave prepared food out at room temperature for more than 2 hours. Coming up on Ksee Midday, the slap that we're going to take a look at Will Smith's Oscar fiasco.
There are great stories in education across the valley.
Stories of standout students and teachers, innovative programs and curriculums.
All dedicated to improving our valley through education.
The Office of the Fresno County Superintendent of Schools and Ksee 24 are committed to telling these stories.
Featuring education.
Education Matters, Mondays at 6:30 on Ksee 24. Local news that matters.
Made possible by EECU, Fresno State, and Chevron.
Spicy J's is the expert in Chinese cuisine and specialty dishes like chili wonton. Enjoy favorites like honey walnut shrimp and kung pao supreme every day. Great food, great service. Spicy J's in River Park.
First Steps Recovery Outpatient Program really is just that, the first steps.
Not everyone needs an inpatient program or to go to the hospital.
First Steps meant starting my recovery from home.
First Steps meant not having to choose between my job or recovering.
First Steps Recovery offered online programs that fit my schedule.
I'm so grateful for the First Steps Recovery Outpatient Program.
If you or a loved one needs help recovering from addiction, call First Steps Recovery today and take the first step.
First Steps Recovery.
The more serious your injury, the more serious the legal battle will be. So if you want the best decision at the end of your case, make the right decision at the beginning. Choose Jacoby & Myers.
They share everything. Almost. And now it's time to share America's most recommended roadside assistance. Add loved ones to your AAA membership for 50% off and share the benefits. Like tow trucks that arrive 20 minutes faster with the highest customer satisfaction. Add loved ones in your household for 50% off with automatic renewal at AAA.com/50. AAA. Outsmart life.
Do you know the fastest growing cable news network in America?
I'll give you a hint. It's News Nation. We're new and we're different.
If you're looking for news without the noise,
come back to the news the way it used to be.
News Nation. News for all America.
Hino Oishi Japanese cuisine and sushi tempts you with our famous hot and spicy sauce. Enjoy freshest fish. Come enjoy our teppanyaki for an entertaining and delicious dinner. Hino Oishi at Campus Point by the theater.
Now YourCentralValley.com pros who know.
When sending and receiving packages, request that your delivery company put them out of sight on your porch. And remember to track your packages and monitor your AmeriGuard doorbell camera.
For more expert advice, go to YourCentralValley.com/pros who know.
Local news that matters. This is KC24 News Midday.
Welcome back to Midday. We're going to give you a live look here in Fresno. You know, when you can see the Sierra that clearly, it means some rain has come through and cleared up the air. We have team coverage of the rain that has come through our area today. Ruben Contreras is in the Weather Center tracking the storm. But first, let's start with Medeiros Bab live near Highway 180 in Peach with the latest on road conditions.
Well, Brody, right now it's just sprinkling, but it is expected to pick up later this afternoon, and that means slick roadways like you could see right here on the 180. Now, California Highway Patrol says they have all hands on deck to respond to accidents, but officials do not expect any significant flooding from this storm. So far, there hasn't been any significant damage, and it is starting to a little bit in the mountain, and officials say as of right now chains don't have to be on, but they are required to be in your vehicle if you do plan to head up that way. Now, Officer Mike Salas says, well, on your way home today, roads will most likely be wet during your commute, so expect it to take longer than usual.
Allow yourself some extra time. Slow your speed down like always. Make sure your tires are in good working order. That way you're not sliding around.
Officials also say to make sure to check those windshield wipers and make sure that they are working properly. They also say to be prepared by having extra snacks and a bag with extra supplies, such as an extra coat and also maybe some mittens, to make sure that you are prepared during this storm time. Reporting live from Fresno, Medeiros Bab, KC24, local news that matters.
All right, Ruben, you can see it's kind of cleared up where Medeiros is, but that is not the case for the rest of the valley.
No, and the fact that we have some sunshine right now, that's a concern because that heats the lower atmosphere, and we've got some cold air coming in with moist. See a recipe for thunderstorms later on for today. Live radar shows a few sprinkles in and around Fresno, and there's some heavy rain to the east of Porterville into the foothills of Tulare County. And then we're seeing some more rain approach Interstate 5 on the west side of the valley. And we were just talking about highway conditions. Things are dry now, but things could pick up for your commute home later on this afternoon, this evening. That's the time frame for a few. And we're only going to be in the 60s today, much cooler compared to what we have over the weekend, and below average, which is 69 for this time of year. We dry out and things warm up fairly fast again. On that extended forecast in a few minutes. For now, we'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Ruben. China began its most extensive coronavirus lockdown in 2 years today to conduct mass testing and control a growing outbreak in Shanghai as questions are raised about the economic toll of the nation's zero COVID strategy. Shanghai had managed its smaller previous outbreaks with limited lockdowns of housing compounds and workplaces where the virus was spreading. Residents will be required to stay home. Deliveries will be left world. No contact with the outside world. Offices and all businesses are not considered essential will be closed and public transport suspended. Already many communities within Shanghai have been locked down for the past week, with their housing compounds blocked off with blue and yellow plastic barriers, and residents required 19. Black box and flight data recorder on Sunday in the wreckage from China Eastern Airlines jet that crashed into a mountainside in southern China. The second black box was dug out of a slope at the crash site in muddy conditions after rain in recent days. The device, found some 5 feet beneath the surface of the slope, will be sent to Beijing for checks on Sunday. That's according to state media. Flight MU-5735 with 132 people on board was en route from the southwestern city of Kunming to Guangzhou on the coast. Cruising altitude at about the time when it should have started its landing descent. Officials announced that all the people on board, including 9 crew members, have been confirmed dead. Well, this morning, new fallout and lingering questions following news that Virginia Thomas, wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, after the former president, NBC's Hallie Jackson is here with more.
New this morning, members of Congress investigating the January 6th insurrection, now weighing whether to question the wife of a Supreme Court justice.
When it comes to any potential future calling in of Ms. Thomas, we'll make a decision, and you all will know as soon as we do.
At issue, text messages the committee has sent by Virginia Thomas to former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows in the months after the 2020 election, pushing for efforts to keep then-President Trump in office. Thomas, writing in one exchange, "Help this great president stand firm, Mark. The majority knows Biden and the left is attempting the greatest heist of our history." In another, Thomas quoting a passage circulating on right-wing media referring to the Biden crime family and ballot fraud co-conspirators. Thomas also sending an email appeal to one House conservative saying Republican members needed to be out in the streets protesting legitimate victory. Democrats say it's an unprecedented intervention.
You have the wife of a sitting Supreme Court justice advocating for an insurrection, advocating for overturning a legal election. This election husband.
January Supreme Court ruling forcing Mr. Trump to turn over documents to the January 6th committee. Whether Thomas should recuse himself from similar cases in the future, triggering a partisan divide.
Clearly,
I've watched Clarence
should accused himself.
I've watched Clarence Thomas for years, and I've always seen him do the right thing.
Neither the Thomases nor Mark Meadows have responded to requests for comment.
President Biden is proposing a new minimum tax on the wealthiest households in the 2023 budget. It's part of the budget blueprint released by the White House today. The billionaire minimum income tax plan would impose a 20% minimum tax rate on households with more than $100 million. The majority of new revenue raised by the tax would come from billionaires. That's according to White House estimates. If the plan is enacted, the tax would reduce the deficit by over $360 billion over the next decade. The new budget would also propose additional smart, targeted investments designed to spur durable economic growth, create jobs, reduce cost pressures, and foster share by White House fact sheet. The 94th Academy Awards made history Sunday night, not because of the thing everyone's talking about, because of this other historic moment. Tony Coaster won Best Supporting Actor for his role in Coda, making him the first deaf actor to get special.
Oh, wow.
Another big moment at the Oscars, the slap that everyone is still talking about. Academy Award-winning Best Actor Will Smith confronted and then slapped comedian Chris Rock on the stage. Right there. This came after Smith took offense to a joke Rock made about his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. Seconds after the joke, Smith stepped on stage to confront Chris Rock and slapped him. When he returned to his seat, he unleashed a torrent of profanity-laced comments toward Rock, which were silenced during the national broadcast. The Texas teen who drove his pickup truck through a tornado was given a new truck on Saturday.
It's my honor to present to you keys to this brand new 2022 Chevy Silverado All-Star.
Yeah. A dealership in Fort Worth, Texas gave 16-year-old Riley Leon a new Chevrolet pickup truck, $15,000 to help his family. Leon says he still can't believe he's alive. Last Monday, he was driving home from a job interview at Whataburger when a twister tore across the side and then, well, flipped it back upright so he could just take off.
I'm very grateful. This doesn't happen to a lot of people and happened to me, and I'm very grateful for Randall for helping me out and making this chance possible for me and my family. I was mostly worried about my truck, honestly. About myself. I have it. Speechless.
There is more good news. He got that job at Whataburger, starts today. And Leon says he still plans to fix his old pickup because it has a lot of sentimental value. And it's a pretty awesome story. Coming up on Ksee 24 Midday, a possible strike of grocery workers as union talks stall.
Stand Optical choose a spokesbird.
They're not your typical eye care company. I'm not your typical penguin. We're a team. There's no I in eye care. Wait.
Get 2 pairs of glasses, including an eye exam, anti-glare lenses, and same-day service for only $70.
All over. New hometown RV dealer, Sky River RV, here's you, Santa Maria. With locations in Paso Robles, Atascadero, and Pismo Beach, we are proud to announce that our newest store is now open in Santa Maria, where the grand opening sales extravaganza is happening. Prices, food, and in Santa Maria. Ready to experience the Sky River hometown difference? We hear you, Santa Maria.
Fresh out of Papa Murphy's kitchen, the Buffalo Ranch Chicken Pizza.
Actually, it's fresh out of my oven.
Dad, it's just an expression.
Grilled chicken, crunchy bacon, covered in creamy buffalo sauce. Now that is an expression.
Change the way you pizza.
All right, here we go.
Wondering if the COVID vaccine is right for your child?
If you can trust it.
Want to know what a healthcare professional would say?
Well,
I represent over 4.3 million registered nurses.
Nearly 67,000 pediatricians.
And we all agree on this.
It's important for all children 5 and older to get a COVID vaccine.
Because we know millions of cases of COVID have been in kids.
In kids?
Kids. So I speak for pediatricians.
The nurses.
Doctors, you see all.
Studied the science.
And it's clear to me.
It's very clear.
You can trust the COVID vaccine for yourself, or your kids, or your grandkids.
I do.
I do.
Hey, guys.
Why would Stand Optical choose a spokesbird?
They're not your typical eye care company. I'm not your typical penguin. We're a team. There's no I in eye care. Wait.
Get 2 pairs of glasses, including an eye exam, anti-glare lenses, and same-day service for only $79.
Next, Drew, Ellie Kemper, plus...
Hi there.
Oh my God! Susie Summers!
Is it pointed the right way?
No!
The Drew Barrymore Show, today at 2 on KC24. KC24 News is brought to you in part by Peels Citrus. Now, forecaster Ruben Contreras with your local.
Welcome back. Most of the valley getting a break from the rain, and most of the heavy rain is behind us as we move forward into the afternoon. It's going to be more shower activity scattered with the potential for thunderstorms even into the early evening. You got to remember, we have more daylight now. That gives the atmosphere more time to heat up, especially the surface heating. That's still off of the coast of Central and Southern California, so that's counterclockwise spindle off. That can help trigger a few thunderstorms this afternoon. Here's what the radar looks like this midday. Of course, we had a good soaking of rain at sunrise this morning, so most of the valley getting a break, but it's starting to pick up on the west side of the valley out towards the Los Banos area, mainly along Interstate 5. That's the yellow you see right there on the radar where rain starts to become a little bit more moderate to heavy. The green's the lighter rain in the form of sprinkles. Just to the east of Porterville, as you make your way up the 190 into the foothills of Tulare County, some rain there, and then we still have some snow about 5,000 feet or so for most of the Sierra. So the snow level did dip down to 5,000 feet. Shaver, looks like you picked up some decent snow, maybe a few inches so far. More is on the way. It will continue into the afternoon and the Sierra in the form of snow later on today. And here in the valley, here's the live radar, and is going to favor the path of Southern California. So Fresno County southward, you do have a decent chance of seeing some thunderstorms later on this afternoon. North Valley, there's a chance, but I think the best opportunity is Fresno County southward, and Futurecast does show that. This jumps ahead about 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon. You see that red dot right there? Those are cells that could easily transition to thunderstorms. Then you see some yellow and orange right there. That's more moderate to heavy rain, and then the green's fairly light rain. Then it transitions to snow about evening about 7 o'clock or so, which is about the time the sun will set. Some lingering clouds tomorrow morning might produce a few sprinkles or maybe a little bit of drizzle in the Sierra and the upper foothills, but for the valley, I think things pretty much wrap up by midnight tonight. Here are rainfall totals so far since midnight. Close to a quarter inch of rain in Madera, 4/10 in Fresno, other parts of the valley close to half an inch. So this is what some criminals were suggesting, but most of the heavy rain is behind us. So if we add anything, it's probably a few 100s at the most. But if a deep observation station, say a thunderstorm, you could easily add maybe another half to full-on inch of rain, but Futurecast is suggesting a few 100 for the foothills into this afternoon. Rain possible for the foothills into this afternoon. In the Sierra, the highest elevations above 6,000 feet could pick up about 6 to 12 inches of snow, and there's a winter weather advisory for our local bounds until midnight tonight. For the northern Sierra, Lake Tahoe, Reno area, it's until o'clock this evening. Southern California, the Southern California mountains, Los Angeles County, it is a winter storm warning until tomorrow mornings because snow is possible in these areas all the way through Tuesday morning, and the heaviest amounts of precipitation will be for Southern California. If you're headed south through the Grapevine, here's a live picture of the Grapevine from Caltrans. This is their webcam right at Fraser Park. That if you look closely right here, there's the mountain, Fraser Park right there. Fresh snow on it from this morning. It didn't reach the highway level, at least not yet, but there's potential later on this afternoon, this evening. Quick look outside to show you a live picture from our Valley Cam at KC24. Clean, refreshing, thanks to the rain. We can see downtown Fresno from our studios in East Central Fresno. And notice the cameras bouncing around because it is a little windy out there. Winds 14-mile-an-hour winds in Fresno, but close to 15-mile-an-hour winds in Lemoore. For the most part, winds will be southeast 10 to 20 miles an hour, but those wind gusts could be close to 25 miles an hour. We're only in the 50s this midday, much cooler compared to this time yesterday, and our highs today will be much cooler compared to what we had over the weekend. 20 degrees cooler in Porterville this midday, 10 degrees cooler in Madera, and 14 degrees cooler in Fresno, which is 69, and we're staying away from records. We broke or set new record highs all for the most part of last week. Not the case this time around. So the South Valley today, 65 in Tulare, 63 in Selma. It's holding on to the 50s though in Squaw Valley, Aubrey, Oakhurst, mid-30s for China Peak, mid-40s for Yosemite, 61 in Fireball, and then 65 in Merced. And of course, our temperatures tonight will be on the chilly side. We're going to be in the 40s across the Central Valley because of the cold air becoming behind the system. Then skies clear, so that's why it's going to be a little chilly for tonight. And of course, we had overnight lows for a good portion of last week into the weekend in the 50s since it was so mild. We're going to dry out after this. Plenty of sunshine, more seasonal temperatures tomorrow. We're going to be in the mid to upper 60s as we move forward into the later part of the week. We're back in the 70s and getting close to the 80s on Friday, then actually moving in the 80s on Saturday, and then cooling off a little bit on Sunday. So warm this weekend, just not as warm as last weekend. YourCentralValley.com has the latest live radar. Check it out anytime this afternoon. For now, we will send it back to you.
About doctors and other healthcare providers for COVID-19 vaccinations. Emergency funding for testing and treatment has already run dry. The COVID relief program has been on shaky ground since GOP lawmakers blocked additional aid that was requested by California gas prices. Even as prices nationally are going down. The nationwide average for a gallon of regular gas is now $5.91. According to AAA, here in Fresno, we're at $5.66 a gallon. Industry analysts say the West Coast is finding its own challenges, and it's difficult to anticipate where some relief may be seen.
Well, California has suffered the fate of several refineries in Southern California that have had
Governor Newsom and state lawmakers are still debating several ideas to help Californians with the soaring gas prices. We've heard pretty much all of them. Among the ideas being discussed in Sacramento, rebates for vehicle owners and suspending the state fuel tax. Well, the supply chain starting to return to normalcy, but what about all those delayed goods? Vicki Nguyen has the details on how you might find some great deals soon.
This shopping season, bargain hunters are heading to the store with a spring in their step. Discount retailers like Burlington, Ross, and the TJ Maxx unload shelves and racks. TJX, which owns TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods, tells NBC News, "We offer consumers a great selection of branded merchandise at excellent values all year long. But experts tell us, bigger when buyers
feeling the pinch right now from higher oil prices, food inflation. So I think a lot of people are looking for deals.
When supply chain delays reached their peak during the winter holidays, huge amounts of seasonal clothing and other items were left stuck on the dock. Your everyday mall-based retailer might not want that inventory anymore, giving off-price chains the opportunity to scoop it up at really low prices.
You don't want to put winter goods on the floor in late March. So what will happen is the off-price retailers will go and buy those at a discount.
The shopper, well, experts say you can expect to see a lot more selection and brands that you don't typically find at discount stores, especially when it comes to shoes and clothes.
Specifically, be on the lookout for higher-end apparel brands, along with a wide variety of home decor, crafting, and beauty items. Categories